And I just finished a movie with Quentin Tarantino. I've always said I worked for 5 geniuses in my career. Well, 3 geniuses in my career. In the last year and a half, I added 2 more.
Wow.
My geniuses are Kazan, Hitchcock, Trumbull, Coppola, Tarantino.
Fantastic. What did you just do with Tarantino?
Django Unchained.
Oh, is that right? I didn't even realize you were in that.
No, nobody does, because I'm the prologue to the movie.
Is that
before
right?
The movie begins. I mean, you see it, but it's before there's any credits or anything, and you shall not forget it.
And you're convinced that Tarantino is a genius.
Huh?
Yeah, and you say, is Tarantino? Did he make your genius list?
Yeah, he's the fifth. He's the fifth on my list now, so it's 5.
And how could you tell that in just the prologue for his movie? How do you know? Or did you know that going in?
I sat down with him in Musso's Franks, and he told me a 20-minute backstory of my character.
Wow.
Genius.
That's fantastic. Here, I thought we were going to be talking about movies 30 and 40 years old, and we're talking about a movie that you just shot with Quentin Tarantino right now, man. You know, one of the great lines in your autobiography is that, I think it was Lee Strasberg you quote, he says, you know, you're not going to be appreciated, or you'll be underappreciated until your 60s or 70s.
Mid-60s.
In the mid-60s? And has that come to pass, do you think? And if so, why did he say that?
Mid-70s it's coming to pass, because I'm about to leave, and the first week of October, Wendy and I are going to Nebraska because I'm the star of the new Alexander Payne movie called Nebraska.
Oh my
God! And it
God.
stars me, and Will Forte plays my son. You know Will Forte?
Absolutely, yeah.
He plays my son, and my other son's played by a guy named Bob Underkirk, who's on
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking
Bad.
Bad.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Now the thing is, and Alexander Payne is another terrific writer. Do you know what Lee Strasberg, back in I don't know if this was the 50s or 60s when he told you this, why he said that about you?
He said that to me because, and Gadge said the same thing, you are not a conventional leading man. The conventional leading men in my generation were Troy Donahue, Warren Beatty, Gardner McKay, all good-looking or great-looking guys that were, destined to be movie stars. Well, I'm not a movie star.
Yeah.
And Jack, oddly enough, even though we weren't at the same place beginning, he wasn't. Harry Dean wasn't a movie star. I mean, we're just guys that had to survive for a decade.
Yeah.
And what happened was, in the 70s, the town got bored with conventional leading men being in every kind of movie about everything. And because, maybe Roger Corman excited them, because he put us kind of actors in his movies.
Yep.
And they made money because they were drive-in movies, and they were about drugs and motorcycles and everything else. And so that was really, maybe the forerunner. And all of us had been in them, Dennis, Jack, everything. But when we began, Jack and I, to us, Dennis was a movie star.
Yeah, Dennis
He worked twice with Jimmy Dean.
Yeah, he did.
And Jimmy Dean was dead before we decided to be actors, so Dennis was already got. If you had Dennis in a movie, you were touching greatness, maybe. So we had to earn our way, and we had to be, because we had no dialogue or anything in the movies, we had to find things that were interesting. And Gadge always told me the most interesting thing about characters is yourself. So put them in the movie. And when I went to do The Cowboys in 1971 with John Wayne, he leaned into me, right into me, totally Jim beamed out at 8:30 in the morning. I mean, he was a quart in already.
Who are we talking about?
John Wayne.
John Wayne, okay.
And this movie is The Cowboys.
Yeah.
And he had never been shot in a movie, so he'd never had bullet hits put on him, and they were putting the bullet hits on him. And he said, "Is this gonna hurt?" I said, "You're goddamn right, it's gonna hurt. They're gonna blow your chest off." Because the first day of the movie, he had said to me, took me aside, he said, "You're in this movie for 2 reasons. One is you're the best bad guy around. 2 is you understand bad guys can be funny.
Wow.
And 3, bad guys all thought they were movie stars." So they got away with everything and legends grew.
Yeah.
And he said, "I want you to stay on my butt this entire film in front of these 10 little kids so they're scared to death of you. Well, after a week, they just were terrified of me. You know, I don't know if you ever saw the movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So,
famously.
I get their attention.
Yes.
I get the kid in the river and break his glasses and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Wayne leans into me, and he says that morning as they're putting the bullet hits on after I said that, he said, "Oh, how they're going to hate you for this." I said, "Maybe. But in Berkeley, I'm a goddamn hero." You know what I mean? He just done the big Playboy article, so he knocked everybody, you know.
Yeah, and this is, in case people haven't seen it, you famously, you not only shoot and kill John Wayne in the movie, you shoot him in the back!
And he never knew it.
Is that right?
Mark Rydell and I are the only ones that ever knew it, because he didn't know they put a bullet hit in his back. He just felt the ones here. Because I say to him, "Turn around, I want you to see this coming," and he keeps walking. So the one thing, and it's the only scene in a movie I've ever been in where the people gasped in the theater when they saw in his back and he went down.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
No kryptonite and guys like that. But just an aside for a second, when
Sure.
we began and came to Hollywood after being in Broadway and stuff, we were lucky, my generation, because we still got to work with the legends. We're not legends. We've had careers, we've done this and that. I get kind of embarrassed when they say, well, it's a legendary award or something like that.
Yeah.
They were legends, and they were legends because they were bigger than life. Their acting ability might have been different from one to one. One could, one couldn't. Henry Fonda was a wonderful actor, but they were bigger than life. Now, it's impossible to be bigger than life.
Yeah.
Because everybody's on you every day about something.
Yeah.
And you're overexposed. And that's the one thing the studio system protected the stars from having, was being overexposed.